Okay, while I waited for the video to upload, I went ahead and started filling out some more of the forms. The disclosure of licensee status always needs to be submitted when the agent is related in some way to the person, so submitting the offer. So in this case, I'm acting on behalf of the buyer who is a member of my immediate family, and that is not right. Okay. That's funny. Okay. So okay, there we go. So this is the one that I want marked. And again, when I give you the correct blank ones, all of this will be marked correctly. So I'm a member of the real estate licensee's immediate family, sign and date, fill out the top of that. We're always doing as is with inspections and right to terminate. So in 10 days, that means if they go in, bring their contractor through and decide it's just too much work for the amount that they got it for, that they have an out for 10 days. Ground rent. So remember when we talked about what type of property was, what the ownership was? I said it would either be fee simple or ground rent. Fee simple means that there is no ground rent. If there is ground rent, then we have to go to the website. Ashley, you've used this before, is Maryland Estat. And you'll want to do the real property search. And I usually, when submitting offers, do this anyway because sometimes it's a lot easier to just put that it's fee simple, and agents can be lazy, and then you find out later that there's ground rent. And if we didn't do our due diligence, then it's kind of our fault. So I would definitely recommend doing this anyway. But let's say Baltimore City, street address, 608 Rose. And again, you'll be able to tell if it's Baltimore City or Baltimore County, depending on where it came through. So to find out if there's ground rent or not, you go ahead and hit ground rent registration. There's no ground rent, so yes, it's fee simple. Perfect. So if it's fee simple, you're going to go ahead and delete these pages. So I'm going to go to page, delete, and then it's 2 pages, so I'll delete this one also. This paper is for my company, and it's very redundant and kind of annoying, but we need to fill it out anyway. It's just saying that you've walked through the property and that, you know, you're buying it as is. So 608 Rose Street. And then again, signature's already done. And I believe, yeah. So that comes to the end of the contracts that of the blank contract that I gave you. Remember in the beginning how we downloaded those other contracts? So these are the other pieces of information that are necessary to submit the offer that are coming from the sellers. Now for now, just while I'm checking to make sure that you guys are getting all of the contracts done correctly, not that I doubt that you will, but clearly, you know, I've been doing this for a long time and I'm still, you know, making little mistakes. I just want to make sure that everything's smooth. So at this point, for your purposes, we're going to say that this offer, and again, I'm just taking a look at this because I haven't yet. Just kind of flipping through here. Okay. The last piece that you'll need to attach to any and all of the offers, well, actually, the last 2 pieces are the proof of funds and the earnest money deposit. So the earnest money deposit we always make out to our title company, and the proof of funds we will use Terry's business account. What I think the easiest way to do this is going to be that I can send you a copy of these on Monday, and then you'll have them to work with for the week. So I'm going to go back to page and I'm going to append the proof of funds. And I'm going to attach those because if they don't see that you have a pre-approval from a mortgage or that you have the amount in their bank account, they don't take your offer seriously, and I don't blame them. So if that's saved sideways, just go ahead and rotate it. So you see the deposit check for $1,000 and you see the proof of funds. So all of these are saved together. So when you get to this point, all of these other pages that came from those documents, that came from these documents, need signatures. So at this point for now, what you're going to do is save and then download them and then get them to me. So I can just do a quick glance over to make sure everything looks good. And then what I'll do is go into my DocuSign account, and because I need access to Terry's email to kind of go through that, which you'll be able to do eventually too, which is fine. But like I said, for now, this will kind of be a stopping point for me to be able to just take a look at the offers. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's say the offer is submitted or the offer is completely done. I email it back to you with all the signatures. What you're going to do from your work email is then go ahead and email the listing agent a copy of the complete contract. But before you do that, so you'll email the listing agent a copy of the complete contract. And then once that offer has been submitted, you'll go ahead and click on offer submitted. When that happens, it's going to kick all of this information from the offers workspace back into our leads app. And this is why I split it up. It's going to kick all of the information over and it'll show up in our MLS offers. So once it's, and I'm just not going to click that right now because I still have to finish it. I just want to sort of show you the flow of everything. Once it's in the MLS offers, this is one of the tests that I did earlier. It'll have the offer date. All of this information is going to kick over from the information that Terry gave you. And you just click that the offer's submitted, and then the account, the actions that happen from there. This is where we'd want you to keep track of, what the time you submitted the email. We'd like a follow-up phone call to let the agent know that it was sent. I always write in the emails, if you could please confirm receipt, that would be great. And so anytime you're touching base with the agent, with the seller's agent, just to so we know where we are in terms of getting these offers out and in. The only other thing I wanted to mention is, I mean, you guys are both doing a great job. We send out so many offers because the reality is that we're shooting for investor offers, so there's room on the back end for us to make money off of them, which means that they are usually significantly lower than the asking price. And for us, if we get between 2 and 5% of the, actually I would say probably between like 3 and 5% of the offers that we're submitting, that's solid. But that also means we're only getting, that's like 3 out of 100, which doesn't seem like very much, but for the amount of profit that we can make if we renovate them, it all works out. So we know it's a lot of work on the on the front end, and it's not easy, and it's a lot to keep track of, but we appreciate it, and I have no doubt that you guys can do this. So I'm going to send this to you now so you can sort of digest this, and I'll probably do a couple more offers for Terry today, and we'll get you guys started on it soon. Thank you.